Hey, Trojan family, what's going on? Welcome back to the USC LAFB show. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. The tight end position is going to be an interesting one to watch in this recruiting cycle. I spoke just last week about Charles Davis, a recent offer that USC gave, and he mentioned, how USC has shot to the top of his list as they're a dream school. We talked about whether he's seen as a tight end or a receiver. Rivals list him as a tight end 24/7, lists him as a receiver. His closest relationship right now is with Dennis Simmons, who is obviously the outside receivers coach. So it'll be interesting to see how he shakes out, how Rosario Edwards shakes out, one of the top tight ends in the class. But now, today, another tight end on the radar for USC, Mason Ogelsby, just dropped his top 6, and USC makes the list. Now, a little bit quickly about Ogelsby. He is the 21st ranked wide receiver according to Rivals industry rankings. He's 16th overall by Rivals, 18th overall by 24/7. ESPN has him down lower, which is why he's lower than both those based on those two. But he is a 4-star tight end, 6'4", 230. So, of all the guys that we've talked about for tight end for USC, Ogelsby is the best in terms of size. When you talk about height and that 230 weight class, that's what you want in a true inline tight end playing in the Big Ten. Now, USC can obviously use tight ends differently, and we've seen them do that many, many times, and some of the guys they're going after currently are in that 200 to 210 threshold, so much smaller. But 230 gives you a true inline blocking tight end, and Ogelsby is that in spades. Plus, he can add some verticality in the passing game. So he is from the state of Indiana, New Palestine, Indiana, the 5th ranked overall player in the entire state of Indiana. His 6, as I mentioned, dropped his top 6. So USC joins the likes of Indiana, Kansas, Mizzou, Purdue, and North Carolina. Now, USC is a new offer. So this is a brand new thing, and right now, Indiana, it's theirs to lose. Obviously, Indiana is not just the school in the state of Indiana. Yes, that includes Notre Dame. Indiana is the school in the state of Indiana currently. Coming off the national title, Kurt Signetti, what they do offensively, they are the school to beat. It is theirs to lose unless they decide to look at different options. I would say secondly is Purdue. Purdue also obviously in the state of Indiana. Barry Odom, I think, building a nice thing there. They still got a ways to go. It's an uphill battle, but I do like Barry Odom as a coach, and it's still, you have that in-state prevalence, and they will probably make Ogelsby like their top priority in their entire class. When you consider in-state kid, 4-star, the size I just mentioned in the Big Ten, they're going to give everything they got, I think, to get Ogelsby. USC then, I think, is tied after that with all the rest of them. When you look at Mizzou, Kansas, North Carolina, he said of USC, and this is to, I don't know if it was to Steve Wiltfong, but written up by Steve Wiltfong over at Rivals, USC is a great opportunity to go play for one of the historically best teams in college football. The culture around the team is amazing. This is a new offer, but definitely a real possibility for me. So that kind of tells you what I just said, right? USC, this is brand new. USC wasn't even on his radar. And then once you get that offer, you're like, oh man, this is USC. This is Los Angeles. This is, look what they've done historically with some tight ends and kind of what they're doing in that room now with Chad Savage and what they just shelled out for a tight end in 2026 in Mark Bowman. Not saying Ogelsby will get that, but like they're taking care of tight ends over there at USC. Maybe I want to get involved in a little bit of that, and seeing how much they're utilizing more 12 personnel, more 13 personnel, and just involving the tight ends in the passing game so much more than we saw in years past, kind of now reverting back to what we saw Lincoln Riley do at Oklahoma with guys like Mark Andrews, and we'll see a lot of that with Mark Bowman this season. And Tupu, who's coming back as a redshirt sophomore, who really played well in that bowl game, and Josiah Jefferson, the JUCO product. A lot of talent in that room, and Ogelsby could be a really nice addition in this 27 class. So we'll see where this one goes. Like I said, USC to me is kind of in that third spot, tied with other teams behind the two Indiana schools, but has the size you want to see, 6'4", 230. He's a 4-star prospect and someone USC recently kind of jumped on the wagon with, and we'll see where this thing goes. So, quick little update for you there. I will have tonight at 7 p.m. Dropping. I've kind of teased it, been doing a bunch of research. I'm going to not necessarily call my shot on who's committing, but on what the class will look like in terms of roster construction, meaning how many players at each position for the final number of what the recruits will look like. Plus, I'll give players to look for at every single one of those positions. So I'm dropping that tonight at 7. So be on the lookout for that. Hit that subscribe button. Also just want to say, Tim Prangley and myself will be going live again soon. It's just, with the offseason schedules all over the place, we're trying to settle in on a day and time. I'd love to do 2 days if we can. So, comment below if that would be too much or if you guys would tune into that. Obviously, this is for you guys, and if we go live too often and no one wants to watch, then there's no point in doing that. So if you would like to see, hey, go live Tuesday, Thursdays in the evening. Keep that going throughout the season. That could be something we could try to figure out, but that will be coming back soon. I miss doing the live call-in show. I always love the interaction with you guys and guys that call in and gals and people that comment, and we get to go through the comments. So Tim and I will be jumping back on that very soon. I may even just jump on live here, maybe end of this week or early next week, just to get the wheels going again. It's been about a month now since we've gone live. So drop in the comments. I'll also put a poll up in our community. I'm just looking at days and times, just, getting the feel, what you guys are feeling. So I'll put that up, so be on the lookout for that. And then finally, this Friday, we get the opportunity to chat with every single USC assistant coach, including new DC Gary Patterson. We get like 2.5 hours to talk with all of them. So I will have a ton of content up on Friday. So probably the full interviews for each coach, plus I'll have my own personal takes, analysis, and retake from the day at John McKay Center. So that will be Friday evening. A lot coming at you, so be on the lookout for that. So, but like I said, 7 o'clock tonight, episode dropping with a full kind of 2027 recruiting roster breakdown and how I see it shaking out. So hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this thing rolling. Appreciate your family. As always, fight on. Hey, Trojan family, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers, they've got live stat updates, they've got a chat that you can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose Jade Mayav in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USCLAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in $10, they'll match you that $10. So now you're sitting at $20 to play with. But also right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free. Go make a deposit. Use USC LAFB. And now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family. And when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.